I recently posted up a tutorial on the sunflower granny square, which is also known as the Sunburst Granny Square. But this time I decided to try out the Granny Hexagon pattern because I also love hexagons, with a sunburst center, to see how it will turn out. I'm torn between whether I like the look on the square or on the hexagon. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. So in this video, I'm going to take you through a sunflower granny hexagon, or you can call it a sunburst granny hexagon, whichever you prefer. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be using DK weight yarn in 5 shades. I've chosen to use one that resembles a sunflower. So I'm going to start with dark brown, and we have rust, we have mustard, orange, and olive. The personality of this crochet hexagon will change drastically depending on the colors you've chosen. So play around with colors if you prefer, make a few, see which one works for you. And what makes this even more awesome is that it's perfect for stash busting. So if you have little scraps of the same weight yarn lingering about, you can make a couple of hexagons, join them, and form a blanket, or a bag, or a basket. You're going to need a hook. So for this tutorial, I'm using a 3.5mm crochet hook. You can opt for any hook size, anywhere from 3mm to 5mm, depending on how compact or how loose you want your overall piece to be. And of course, you're going to need your scissors and your darning needle. For my flowers in bloom blanket, I use a 5mm crochet hook because I wanted my blanket to be a bit loose, to be a bit flexible, to just have a bit of flow to it. But you can choose whatever hook size you prefer. Anything from 3.5 to 5mm should do for DK weight yarn. Depends on preference. Make a swatch and see how it goes. So anyway, let's start. Let's put these pieces aside. So you're going to take the color that you want to be for your center. And for this, I'm using this very lovely yarn buff of brown yarn. Lovely. Lovely. And the first thing you want to do is to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to join it to the center to form a ring. You can alternatively use the magic circle if you prefer. And of course, I have a tutorial for it. I'm going to link it above and in the description. So after you formed your ring, you're first going to chain 3. And this chain 3 counts as your first DC. So you're going to make 11 other double crochets for a total of 12 double crochets into your ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're going to join with a slip stitch to the 3rd chain of your beginning chain 3 and fasten this piece off. And there you have your round 1, the center of your granny hexie. So we are moving on to round 2, and this round is going to be made using puff stitches. So what you're going to do is take your second yarn color and you're going to join it in any stitch from the first round. I think I'll join it to this one. And you chain 1. So you're going to yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert and pull up a loop. You're going to do that 2 more times. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, pull up a loop. And what you want is to have 9 loops on your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all and chain 1 to secure. So let's do that one more time. You're going to yarn over and insert 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times. Yarn over, pull through all and chain 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Yarn over, pull through and chain 1. You're going to make these puff stitches all around until you get to the beginning of your round. 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through all, chain 1 to secure. 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, chain 1 to secure. And what I like to do is, if I have so many color changes, I'm going to use my tail end, weave it in as I work my stitches. So I'm going to hold it as I'm working my stitches. You can see the brown yarn, only a little is left, so that I don't have so many ends to weave in when I'm finished with my piece. So we are going to continue with the puff stitches all the way through to the beginning of the round. When you get to your last stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through all, chain 1 and join it to the first puff stitch of the round. And fasten off. So we are going on to round 3, and what I like to do even for my sunflower granny square is I want a lot of texture in my crochet piece. So what I'm going to do is turn my work, and what used to be my right side will now become my wrong side, and my wrong side will become my right side, because you can tell it has so much texture at the back. You can look, I don't know if you can see over here, like the double crochets and even the puffs are so much more pronounced on the wrong side. So we are going to work on this side so that all that lovely texture is part of our crochet piece. So after you have turned your work, you're going to take your third yarn.
For me, it's mustard.
And we are going to join it to any of the chain 1 spaces from the previous round. So pick one and join your mustard yarn, and you're going to chain 2. You're going to yarn over, insert, and work an incomplete double crochet. What I mean by that is you're going to just yarn over and pull through once, and you're going to repeat this 2 more times. So yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, pull through once, until you have 4 of them. This is our chain 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then when you have 4 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 and chain 2. Now for the remaining stitches, you're going to yarn over, insert, pull through once, 2, 3, 4, but you're going to have 5 loops on your hook instead of 4, but you're still going to have 4 stitches at the bottom over here. Going to yarn over and pull through all 5 stitches and chain 2. So once more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all and chain 2. And you're going to repeat this process for the entire row until you get to your beginning. So you can see they look like clusters of double crochet, and they also have such a lovely texture. So continue with the same until the end. When you get to your last stitch, going to work the same, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through all and chain 2. Then you join it to the first stitch and you fasten off. Just going to take this piece to the back. Look at it. Sunflower. You see even the tips here look like a sunflower. Can you see it? Ah, gorgeousness. So the thing about this piece, and even similar to the sunflower granny square, is you start with 12 double crochets. You're going to have the same number of bubbles here and the same number of clusters here. So it's 12 double crochets, 12 bubbles, 12 clusters. In this second round, we have a chain 1, and in this third round, we have a chain 2, and that's it. So you're going to turn this lovely, gorgeous flower into a granny hexagon. And what you do is you take your 4th color,
The lovely orange.
and join it to any of the chain 2 spaces from the previous round. Any will do. Any will do. You join it to any of the chain 2 spaces. Then we chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. Then double crochet, chain 2, then work 2 double crochet. This is our first corner. Then next, you're going to work 3 half double crochets in the next space. Two DC, chain 2, 2 DC in the next space. So this is the pattern you're going to repeat. you're going to work 3 HDC in one space, and in the next space you're working a corner that comprises of 2DC, chain 2, 2DC all the way around. Nothing complicated, very simple. 3 HDC in one, corner in the next. When you get to your last stitch, work 3 HDC into it and join to the third chain of your beginning chain 3 and join and fasten off. My piece really wants to fall over because I have really tight stitches, which is something you should consider before picking your hook size for the yarn you are using, how tight or how loose your stitches are. So at this point, you just want to count your corners and make sure there are 6, because a hexagon has how many sides? 6 sides and 6 corners. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're good to go. If you have anything less, anything more, count your stitches from the beginning to find out where you added, where you might have missed a couple of stitches before you go on. Just frog it, don't get frustrated. It's all in the process. Learning process can sometimes be like that. So we go on to our 5th round. So for round 5, I'm taking my olive, or is it jungle green? It's a nice shade of green. Set it in any of the 6 corner spaces from the previous round. And can work here. You're going to insert it and you're going to chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. Then you're going to make a corner which is 2DC, 2DC, chain 2, 2DC. That's our first corner. So in the next space here, you're going to work 3DC. Same to the space that follows, 3 double crochet. And when we get to the corner, we work 2DC, chain 2, 2DC. And you're going to repeat this pattern throughout. For the spaces that aren't the corners, you're going to work 3 double crochets, and for the corner spaces, you're going to work 2DC, chain 2, 2DC all the way around. Then when you get to your last stitch, you're going to work 3DC, join it to the third chain of your beginning chain 3, and fasten off. And there you have it, your lovely, gorgeous sunflower granny hexagon. You can play around with different color combinations. In addition, if you want your crochet sunburst hexagon to be bigger, you can just continue with the established basic granny square pattern you see forming here. It's just in the spaces you work 3 double crochets, in the corners you work 2DC, chain 2, 2DC, all through. If you want it to be bigger, maybe for a bag or a basket or even for a sweater, you can do that. And of course, my favorite thing to make with these motifs is a blanket, and I have the gorgeous, the ever lovely Flowers in Bloom blanket available for download. I'm going to link it in the description, and that's what I use these hexagons for. I joined them together and formed that lovely blanket, and I used a 5mm crochet hook, which means it's so light, it's so flexible, and it's so very lovely for all weathers. You can add a lining to it if you want, or just leave it as is, and it's just going to add a pop of color into your space. But look at that. I always like tilting it so people can see the texture I'm talking about. You see, so very, very lovely.
Sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. We got sunshine. We got flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers in bloom, flowers in bloom.